Prologue. Into the mutation. Within this story lies the power of the gorilla, gorilla, the kairu, frog, neko, feline, washi, eagle, and akitsu, dragonfly. 5 secret agents were selected for a dangerous experiment, one meant to cure terminal diseases using advanced radioactive fusion with animal DNA. But something went wrong. A fire erupted in the lab, triggering a cataclysmic explosion that leveled everything within a 3-mile radius. Everything, except them. The lone survivors emerged, forever changed, merged with the DNA of their animal counterparts, transformed into humanoid hybrids. Miraculously, they were found by a mysterious Japanese mystic scientist named Mysterion. Under his guidance, they trained for months in secret, learning to master their new bodies and powers, unlocking their hidden potential. Now they are a covert team of enhanced operatives. They are the incredible Feral Force. 11:58 p.m., Saturday night. A sharp wind cuts across the manufactured lawn of a restricted government compound, surrounded by electrified fencing. The silence is broken by the thunderous roar of a jet engine, only it's no ordinary aircraft. Midnight black, laser-rigged, and humming with otherworldly energy. The ship touches down and vanishes into a cloak of invisibility. Its ramp opens, pouring out blinding white light. 3 figures emerge, 3 men, although they are more than men. Mutated, armored, alive. One is a towering silverback gorilla in sleek combat plating. Another, a sleek feline warrior with glowing claws. The third, a green-skinned amphibian with fluid motion and a mischievous smirk. They stride in unison toward the fence. The frog-like agent, Amphibio, flicks his tongue at the electric barrier. Yow! He winces. But the surge doesn't stop him. Instead, the fence begins to flicker, power draining into his body. I think we're good, boss man. Then I'll take it from here, growls Caracal. With a few surgical swipes of his claws, the fence crumpled like paper. Silverback, you're up, Caracal signals. Charge! The massive gorilla bellows, swinging his gleaming sword and ripping the building doors clean off their hinges. Silverback loves doors! Let's keep the noise to a minimum, mutters Caracal, rolling his eyes. Meanwhile, high above, 2 more figures monitor the scene from a cloaked jet. Loud and clear, Caracal, says a confident voice, Dragonfly. With radiant red skin, purple hair, and shimmering wings, she hovers with grace, her eyes scanning the compound. Don't forget, wipe the servers, no trace. Next to her stands Raptor, a towering eagle-like warrior clad in shimmering armor plume. His sharp golden eyes flare. Incoming. Company, move out. Copy that, Caracal responds, as sirens wail and 6 squad cars pull up to the wreckage. Hold it right there, the police chief shouts. You're surrounded! Caracal crouches, his eyes narrowing. No, he growls. You are. With explosive speed, he launches into combat, slashing and flipping through the ranks. Amphibio leaps high overhead, his tongue lashing out, rapping and flinging officers like ragdolls. Feral Force, engage! Roars Silverback, using one squad car to knock another into the air like a toy baseball bat. From the jet above, Raptor leaps up the ramp and glides downward, wings wide. Bullets strike him but bounce off harmlessly, his feathers more durable than steel. Back to the jet, now! He shouts. Then the roar of a helicopter splits the night sky. Spotlight beams blind the team. This is your last warning, a voice cries from above. Fire! A torpedo launches, but Firefly is already airborne. She spirals upward, gathering heat in her hands, then hurls a prismatic fireball of swirling pink, green, and blue. The missile explodes mid-air. The copter takes the brunt of it and erupts into flames. Raptor dives, catching one of the falling officers. Silverback catches the other in his massive arms. You scream like a baby goat, Silverback says, setting him down gently. Shh now. Caracal and Dragonfly approach. We have the message, Caracal says. Dragonfly leans in. Tell your bosses, every attempt to weaponize radioactive tech on innocent lives ends with us. We are Feral Force. Then her eyes narrow with spiraling colors, hypnotizing the officer. Also, you'll forget this in 48 hours. But until then, every time someone says hello, you'll uncontrollably start dancing, while defecating on yourself.
Dragonfly,
Caracal groans. What? They scorched my hair. The team boards the jet and blasts away at Mach 5. The ground blurs below. Our cover's cracking, Raptor notes. Won't be long before the public knows.
Silverback is fine with fame,
The gorilla grins.
and we'll see how Mysterian feels.
Caracal mutters. They cross land and ocean, blending seamlessly into their surroundings. As the dawn breaks, they reach the bamboo-thick hills of Hiroshima. There, beneath the ground, a golden pagoda emerges. Nirvana Palace. The entrance to Nirvana Palace is shielded by illusions, visible only to those summoned. As they approach, the mirrored lake in front of the palace starts to reveal a hidden hangar. As the jet descends, the waters flow back, hiding all evidence. Home sweet home, says Dragonfly.
Hope he comes with breakfast,
Amphibio moans.
sleep,
Eat, regroup, Caracal says.
and tomorrow we plan our next strike.
Mysterian will be waiting, Dragonfly adds, her voice full of wonder and awe. Los Angeles flight, Valhalla Palace, following morning. The mirrored walls gleam around our heroes as they enter a grand gold and jade-filled chamber. Elegant statues of cranes pose mid-flight, casting tranquil shadows on the walls. At the center sits a massive round table, radiant with ancient circuitry pulsing beneath golden filigree. A mystic tech-looking glass. Amphibio comes in, grumbling, flopping into a chair.
I swear, waiting on this old man to talk through a magic portal? Not exactly thrilling, he says.
Dragonfly smirks as she says, Got a better idea, oh webbed wonder? Amphibio retorts,
Yeah, maybe punctuality?
He'll be here. I'm 99.999% sure, says Raptor as he winks.
When?
Amphibio cries out. A sudden echo rings through the chamber like a ripple in space.
Sooner than you think,
says Dr. Mysterian as he steps through a shimmer of golden mist. An ancient figure stands behind them, regal and commanding. His white beard flows like snow, his eyes sharp beneath a golden-white kimono adorned with peacock and phoenix embroidery. Caracal asks,
Dr. Mysterian, what is this pressing meeting about? Because a shadow rises. One not just unknown to you, but to the entire world. A force that hungers for vengeance and power, says Dr. Mysterian.
Cut to abandoned warehouse, Los Angeles, day. Atop a rusted iron throne sits a hulking mutate, half man, half hippo. His snarling breath fogs the air as he glares down at the city.
Sheep, all of them,
grumbles the massive creature. He then snorts and grabs a handful of cabbage heads from a bin beside him, crunching 5 at once in his massive maw.
They'll learn who's king,
he says and slams a button on the throne.
Margaret, let him up,
he roars. As you say, sir, says his secretary's voice from the intercom. From the fire escape, a nervous realtor climbs up.
Mr.
mumbles the realtor.
Spit it out, nincompoop,
shouts the beastly figure. The deed's yours. You own the power plant now. But why? Asks the realtor. Boom! Goes the beast's massive foot as it shakes the rooftop. He stands. His grotesque frame emerges fully into view.
Because this is where it all ends, and I, Behemoth, begins.
As his knees begin trembling, the realtor says, What are you? Behemoth answers,
I'm what your government created and discarded, and now I create war. Get my factory online. We've got a city to seize.
Cut back to Valhalla Palace.
So let me get this straight,
asks Amphibio.
We're fighting a mutant hippo?
Correct, says Mysterian in his thick Japanese accent. But how do we find him? Asks Dragonfly.
He shares the same mutated signature that runs through your blood. A corrupted version, but connected,
Mysterian says. Raptor lifts an eyebrow. Doctor, that's oddly convenient, he says.
Come on, Doc. There's more you're not telling us. We know he was experimented on first, that he went rogue, but why? Asks Caracal. Silverback wants to know too. What made him snap? Says Silverback. Dr. Mysterian looks at them and cocks a half grin and says, What you need to know now, you already do. The rest will unfold, like crane flight in moonlight. The time draws near. With a clap of his hands, Mysterian vanishes into white flames, leaving only a swirl of purple mist. Seriously, how did he do that? Guy just ghosts us, answers Amphibio. Caracal stands up from the table and says, Well, gang, you heard him. Let's prepare for war. LAPD HQ, night.
Greg, where have you been for 2 days? And why do you smell like a dump?
Shouts the chief of police. Oh, we were attacked by animals, mutated ones, answers Officer Greg.
You're kidding.
The chief laughs. Trembling Officer Greg says, I wish I was. There's more. Word is some psycho dressed as a hippo just bought the old power plant.
Okay, Greg. Assemble a unit. Something's coming,
says the chief. Inside the Nighthawk jet above the South Pacific. Night. The stealth jet hums as it soars toward the twinkling lights of L.A. We're 30 minutes out, says Dragonfly as she sits in the pilot seat of the cockpit. Caracal asks, Hey guys, do you think the world is ready for heroes like us? Shoot, are we ready to even be revealed to the public like this? Raptor snaps. Might be too late. Just then, Amphibio yells, Guys, look at the screen! They all turn to the screen above the cockpit to watch the live feed from downtown Los Angeles. Behemoth, now clad in full armored gear, shouts from atop the power plant.
City of Los Angeles, by day's end, the name Behemoth will echo across the globe. I've turned this forgotten plant into a beacon of fear. Within its core, a bomb laced with enough nuclear fury to flatten this city and beyond,
he says. As he raises his club, he utters,
Deliver $300 million or witness devastation. And now, my welcoming committee. Snipes, attack!
He yells. From the skies descend swarms of 3-foot-tall bird-like mutates, flapping like a drumming thundercloud. Back inside the Nighthawk jet, Caracal says in a fierce tone,
Feral Force, time to move.
Dragonfly says, Engaging hypersonic drive, 12 minutes out. Amphibio starts turning pale like he's sick.
Oh no, where's my barf bag?
He moans. Back in downtown Los Angeles, chaos is unleashed. Citizens scatter in panic. Snipes dive-bomb the streets, tossing people like toys. Suddenly, slicing through the skyline, the black jet of the Feral Force streaks overhead and hovers above the fray. A little girl spots the black jet of Feral Force blazing overhead and asks, What's that? As the jet ramps open mid-air, Feral Force makes an entrance like only they can. Dragonfly, with her striking violet hair whipping in the wind, rockets out of the jet, her wings humming. She fires a shimmering orb of iridescent flame that explodes on impact, scattering the snipes in a panicked retreat. Let's fry these chickens, she says. Amphibio flips out behind her with gymnast precision, extending his long, prehensile tongue to snare 5 snipes at once. He spins and flings them into a street lamp. Ah, yuck! Definitely not poultry grade, Amphibio says. Silverback barrels out next, sword in one hand, knuckles ready. He swats snipes into walls and parked cars like a tennis pro.
Silverback loves tennis,
he bellows. Raptor drops in from above, wings slicing through the wind. 3 snipes spit toxic darts at the crowd, but Raptor's wing unfurls in a flash, deflecting them with a precise shield maneuver. 2 can play at that game, Raptor says. He snaps his wings forward, launching feathered blades that cut through the snipes like dominoes. Stunned Dragonfly says, Okay, I didn't know you could do that. Raptor looks over and says, I've been practicing. Behemoth, annoyed at his assailants falling in battle, he screams in frustration with his gravelly, booming voice.
Feral Force, you fight well, but are you ready for the Behemoth?
From a rooftop, Behemoth leaps. his body rapidly expanding, muscles bulging grotesquely until he slams into the pavement as a 30-foot beast. The ground trembles as his tonnage cracks the pavement. The team stumbles back. From the jet ramp, Caracal now appears, cool and composed. "Why poison the world with your chemicals?" Caracal says. Behemoth looks down, mocking them, and says,
"Oh? Like what your precious Mustarian did to you?"
Shocked, Dragonfly asks, "What are you talking about? He picked us. He trained us. He saved us." Behemoth laughs.
Wrong! He made you! Just like he made me!
Behemoth belches, hurling a metallic bomb into the crowd. It lands as it emits a loud ticking sound, only with 3 minutes left on the clock.
And this time, his flaws of creation go boom!
Laughs Behemoth. "That's it," Dragonfly says. "Time for some barbecue-potamus." She flies up and releases a torrent of rainbow-colored fire, torching Behemoth's gut. He roars in pain and whirls around, hitting Silverback and knocking him into a building.
Big mistake, Tubby,
says Silverback. He pounds his chest and roars as he says,
"You're about to learn why I don't monkey around."
The team rallies. Caracal darts across Behemoth's skin with slashes and jabs. Raptor dive bombs, raining blade feathers. Amphibio somersaults through the chaos, striking with fluid precision. Behemoth swings his mace at Silverback, but the gorilla hybrid catches it mid-swing, growling with primal strength. With a mighty roar, he hurls the weapon back, smacking Behemoth in the forehead. The giant stumbles and begins to shrink to normal size.
"We've got him,"
says Caracal. "No, he stalled us," snaps Raptor. The snipes swoop in and, picking him up, begin carrying Behemoth's retreating form skyward.
"This won't be the last time you see me. Or wait, maybe it is!"
chuckles Behemoth as he is carried away. "Darn it! He's getting away," says Dragonfly. But hey, what about his bomb? What do we do?" Amphibio says. "Raptor, can you shield us in time?" Caracal asks. "I'll try, but it might not be enough," says Raptor. "Silverback," says Dragonfly, "what about you?"
"Silverback needs more time,"
utters Silverback.
"It'll blow before I can clear the stratosphere."
Just then, LAPD cruisers and a military tank screech to a stop nearby. The police chief gets out, pointing at them, and yells,
"There they are! Open fire!"
Caracal shouts back, "No, wait!" All of a sudden, out of nowhere, a massive Asian crane swoops in, landing smack dab between the cops and the team, and transforms into a tall, dignified man in flowing golden robes, Dr. Mystarion. He calmly lays a hand on the bomb. A golden sphere of energy forms around it, and it explodes harmlessly within. Simultaneously, he raises his other hand, conjuring a shimmering blue force field around himself and the entire team. "Dr. Mystarion, you saved us," utters Dragonfly.
"Yes, I believe I did,"
says Dr. Mystarion with a huge grin. Bullets and missiles hit the force field and dissolve into harmless ripples. "We never knew you had this kind of power, Doctor," says Raptor. Dr. Mystarion laughs and says,
"Me neither,"
then pauses and says, I kid. The police chief and the other officers stand there, frozen with their mouths agape from the pure might of Mystarion's power.
"Is this real life?"
the police chief asks.
"You saved us, and the city. But Behemoth, was he telling the truth?"
asks Caracal. "Yeah, because you know I'll know," says Raptor.
"All answers will be revealed in time,"
says Mystarion. He waves his hand, and every squad car, every weapon, and the entire tank crumble into black sand. The police chief hollers,
"Fall back! Fall back!"
Officer Gregg asks the ancient Japanese mystic standing in front of all the police force, "Please, sir, don't hurt us."
No, this was just a delay,"
says Dr. Mystarion as he turns to the team and says,
"Feral Force, I am proud of you. Meet me at Nirvana Palace. There is
much to discuss. He claps twice and begins to transform. His body grows, feathers burst from his arms, and his face elongates into a majestic white crane. With a final flap, he ascends into the sky.
Whoa, he's a bird?
Says Amphibio, amazed.
A big, pretty bird.
Utters Silverback as he watches the giant crane soar.
More like a bird with secrets,
States Raptor.
and the answers we need.
Says Caracal. A little girl wakes up, tugging at Caracal's sleeve.
You saved us,
she says with glee. The police chief strolls up and says,
You actually saved the entire city. We owe you folks a great debt.
The crowd explodes into cheers. Policemen, firefighters, first responders, and everyday people who have gathered on the street to see this battle ensue. They begin to cheer, Feral Force! Feral Force! Feral Force!
Looks like we've got fans,
Says Amphibio as he looks at the crowd gathered around.
And a responsibility,
Utters Caracal.
We should go. Mysterian's waiting.
Says Dragonfly as they walk back toward where the jet had been landed. The team heads for their back, flying off with cheers in their wake, victorious but full of questions. The end of the beginning.